making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
I'm doing amazing, Jay. Actually, I had the most interesting conversation yesterday with my neighbor. She's been studying English for 3 years, 3 whole years, and she still can't say hello to a stranger without freezing up.
Wait, really? 3 years and she still gets nervous?
Yes, and you know what she told me? She said, May, I know all the grammar rules. I just don't know how to talk.
Oh, wow. That's actually kind of sad, but also kind of relatable.
Super relatable, and that's exactly what we're talking about today. Why studying grammar too much actually stops you from speaking English. This one is for every learner who feels stuck, even after months or years of studying.
Okay, I'm already interested, because honestly, I've been there too, May. I used to spend hours memorizing grammar rules, and then open my mouth and just nothing came out.
Yes, the blank face moment. We've all been there. So Jay, let me ask you something. When you were a baby, did your mom give you a grammar book before you learned to talk?
What? No, babies don't read grammar books, May.
Exactly, but somehow babies learn to speak perfectly. They make mistakes, people understand them, they keep going, and eventually they speak fluently. No textbook, no grammar drills.
Huh. I never thought about it that way. So you're saying we should learn English like a baby?
Kind of, yes. Not exactly like a baby. We're adults. We're smarter. We can learn faster. But the principle is the same. Speaking comes from doing, not from studying rules.
Okay, but May, here's my question. Isn't grammar important at all? Like, don't we need it?
Great question. And here's the honest answer. Yes, some grammar is useful, but most learners, especially beginners, spend 80% of their time on grammar and only 20% on actually speaking. And that ratio is completely backwards.
So it should be the other way around.
Exactly. More speaking, less studying. Grammar will follow naturally. Your brain picks up patterns when you hear and use the language enough.
That's kind of wild to think about. Like my brain can just learn on its own?
Your brain is incredibly powerful, Jay. When you expose it to real English, conversations, podcasts like this one, movies, it starts to recognize patterns automatically. You don't have to memorize rules. Your brain does the work.
Okay, wait. So all that time I spent memorizing past perfect tense and subjunctive mood, was that a waste?
I wouldn't say a total waste, but here's the thing. Native speakers don't think about grammar when they talk. They just talk, and then the grammar is correct.
They don't think about it?
Not at all. Right now, I'm not thinking, okay, present continuous, subject-verb agreement. I'm just talking to you. The grammar happens automatically because I've practiced speaking so much.
Wow, I want that. I want to just talk without thinking so hard.
And you can, but only if you start speaking more and studying rules less. This is where things change for most learners, Jay. The moment they stop fearing mistakes and just start talking, that's when everything shifts.
You mean like even if the grammar is wrong?
Even if the grammar is wrong, especially in the beginning, communication first, perfection later.
But won't people judge me? Won't they think my English is bad?
Okay, so this is the interesting part. Most native speakers don't care if you say, yesterday I go to store, instead of yesterday I went to the store. They understand you perfectly. And honestly, they respect that you're trying.
Really?
They won't laugh?
People who judge you for learning a language are not the kind of people whose opinion matters. And most people, they're supportive. They'll even help you.
That actually makes me feel better. Okay, May, tell me more. You said grammar study is backwards for most learners. Can you give me a real example?
Oh, I have the perfect story. So a few years ago, I had a student, let's call him David, super smart guy. He could write perfect English essays. He knew every tense, every rule.
That sounds impressive, though.
It sounds impressive, right? But here's what happened. We went to a coffee shop together. The barista asked him, "Hi, what can I get you?" And David just stood there, completely frozen. He couldn't order a coffee.
No way. He couldn't order coffee?
He couldn't say a single word because in his head he was trying to build a perfect, grammatically correct sentence, and the pressure was too much. He just pointed at the menu.
Oh no, that's painful to imagine.
It really is, and that is the grammar trap. You study so hard to be perfect that you become afraid to speak at all.
So what did David do? Did he get better?
This is where things change in his story. I gave him one simple challenge. Every single day, talk to one person in English. Just one. It could be a shop worker, a stranger, anyone. And just say something simple. Anything.
That's it? Just one person?
Just one person. No pressure to be perfect. No grammar rules. Just open your mouth and say words. And you won't believe what happened next. Within 2 months, David was having full conversations at work in English.
2 months? That's so fast.
Because he stopped waiting to be ready. He just started, and his brain started learning from real experience, not from textbooks.
Okay, I love that story. But May, I have to be honest, I still feel scared sometimes. Like, what if I say the wrong thing and people misunderstand me?
Okay, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you're lost in a new city. You see someone on the street. Would you stay lost because your question might not be grammatically perfect?
No, I'd just ask. Like, excuse me, where is train station? Even if it's wrong grammar.
And would that person understand you?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the meaning is clear.
Exactly. Communication happened. You got directions. Grammar didn't matter in that moment. Real life is the same. People want to understand you. They'll meet you halfway.
That's actually a really good way to think about it. Like the goal is understanding, not perfection.
Yes, write that on your wall. The goal is understanding, not perfection. That one idea can change your whole English journey.
Okay, so May, if someone is listening right now and they've been stuck in grammar study mode for a long time, what should they do? Like, where do they start?
First, stop buying new grammar books. You probably have enough.
Okay, noted.
Second, start listening to real English every single day. Podcasts, shows, YouTube videos, anything where real people are talking, not textbook audio, real conversation.
Like this podcast?
Like this podcast. Yes, exactly. And third, speak out loud every day, even if it's just talking to yourself. Narrate your day in English. I'm making coffee. It's a little cold today. I'm going to be late. Just talk.
Oh, that's interesting. Talking to yourself in English. Would that actually help?
It helps so much because you're training your mouth and your brain to work together in English. You're building what we call muscle memory for speaking.
You mean like how athletes practice the same move over and over until it's automatic?
Perfect analogy, Jay. Exactly like that. A basketball player doesn't think about how to shoot every time. They practiced so much that it became natural. Speaking English can be the same.
Wow, so practice really is more powerful than studying.
For speaking, always, 100%. You cannot study your way to fluency. You have to speak your way to fluency.
I feel like that sentence just changed something in my brain. You cannot study your way to fluency. You have to speak your way to fluency.
Say it again. Let it sink in.
You cannot study your way to fluency. You have to speak your way to fluency. Okay, I feel motivated right now.
Good, because here's one more thing I want to say. Every mistake you make while speaking is actually your brain learning. When you say something wrong and someone corrects you, or you notice it yourself, your brain remembers. That mistake becomes a lesson.
So mistakes are actually useful.
Mistakes are gold, honestly. The fastest learners are the ones who make the most mistakes because they're speaking the most.
That totally flips how I used to think about mistakes. I used to be so ashamed when I made a mistake in English.
Most learners feel that way. But think about it. A baby falls down 100 times before they walk. We don't say the baby is bad at walking. We say the baby is learning.
That's so true. Nobody gets upset at a baby for falling.
So give yourself that same kindness. You are learning. Falling is part of it.
May, I love this conversation so much. Okay, I know we're getting close to the vocabulary moment, but before that, can I share something personal?
Of course.
When I first started learning English, I failed a speaking test, and I was so embarrassed. I almost quit. But then someone told me, the test doesn't measure your potential, it just measures where you are right now. And that helped me so much.
That is beautiful, Jay, and so true. Where you are right now is not where you'll be. You're always moving forward, as long as you keep going.
Okay, I'm not going to cry on this podcast.
Please don't. Okay, let's move into our vocabulary moment. 5 really useful phrases from today's conversation. These are phrases you can use in real life starting today.
Yes, let's go.
Phrase number 1, freeze up. This means suddenly you can't move, speak, or think clearly because you're nervous or scared.
Oh, I use this one. Like, every time my boss asks me a question in English, I freeze up completely.
Perfect example. Phrase number 2, the grammar trap. This is when you focus so much on being grammatically correct that it stops you from speaking at all.
You mean like, don't fall into the grammar trap, just open your mouth and talk.
Exactly right. Phrase number 3, meet you halfway. This means the other person will also make an effort to understand you. You don't have to do all the work alone.
Like, don't worry about your accent. People will meet you halfway.
Beautiful. Phrase number 4, muscle memory. This is when your body or mouth does something automatically because you've practiced it so many times.
Like, after 6 months of daily speaking practice, English started to feel like muscle memory.
Yes, and the last one, phrase number 5, speak your way to fluency. This means the only real path to speaking well is by actually speaking, not just studying.
And that one hits different. You can't study your way to fluency. You have to speak your way to fluency.
Hits different? That's another great phrase, by the way. Means it affects you more deeply than expected.
Oh, wow. Bonus phrase. I love this podcast.
Okay, so let's bring everything together. Today we talked about why studying too much grammar can actually hold you back. We talked about how babies learn through doing, not memorizing. We talked about David, who couldn't order coffee, and how he changed everything by just speaking to one person a day.
And we talked about how mistakes are gold, not something to be ashamed of.
Exactly. The message today is simple but powerful. Stop waiting until your grammar is perfect. Start speaking today. Even one sentence, even one word. Just start.
And the more you speak, the more natural it gets. Your brain learns from real experience.
That's it. That's the whole secret. It's not about studying more, it's about doing more.
I feel like every English learner in the world needs to hear this episode. Like, seriously.
Well, that's our job every single day here on Speak English with Jay and May. We're here for you every day.
Every day, not every week, every single day. So if you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss an episode.
Yes, we put out fresh content for you every day because we know how important consistency is for learning. One episode a day keeps the grammar fear away.
That should be our new slogan.
I'm writing that down. Okay, and before we go, we have a question for you, our amazing listeners. We want to know, what is one moment when you froze up speaking English, and what did you do about it?
Tell us in the comments. We read every single one, and we love hearing your stories.
Your story might just inspire someone else who is going through the same thing right now, so share it. You never know who needs to hear it.
All right, everyone, that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Keep speaking, keep growing, and remember, your English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.